This is a brief tutorial about how to submit an article through the Journal of Experimental Psychopathology web portal. So the first thing you need to do is to register, and assuming you've done that, you simply log on. So I'm just going to log on. And sign in. Now once you sign in, it tells you at the top here that you are signed in, and you can submit your article by clicking on this big sparkly red button. So when you click on that button, it opens up a window which allows you to enter the details of your manuscript. So first of all, you want to put the authors in. And you can either click in these boxes, or what I'm doing is pressing the tab key to get to the next. You can put in a forename, a surname, and the email address that you want any correspondence to go to. And you might have a second author, so you could add them in as well. And this CA column is to indicate the corresponding author. So at the moment, the first author is the corresponding author, but you can change that as you see fit. So we then need to put some kind of mailing address in. And also the manuscript title, which I'm just going to cut and paste from the document, and then obviously the abstract as well, which will get forwarded to reviewers and editors and things. And now for all manuscripts, this helps us to select reviewers. We ask people to classify what their manuscript is about. You do that by clicking on the Assign a Classification button. You can see there's a whole list of, it's actually only 4 questions that you need to answer. The first is, broadly speaking, what psychological problems your research addresses. So in my case, it's going to be some kind of specific phobia, but obviously, you can click on as many or as few as these as you like. Whether your research population is non-clinical, or any other relevant information. So the study that I'm submitting was looking at the sample was academic, so that's an analogue population, and we can also look at what psychological constructs are being investigated. Again, the study I'm submitting is a randomised control trial, so we could pop a tick in that box, and it's a computerized intervention as well. What methodologies have we used? Again, you may want to skip this, but it's helpful again in assigning reviewers and editors if we know something about whether it was a qualitative study, quantitative study, so on and so forth. Anyway, when you've selected whatever boxes you wish to tick, you can click on OK, and you can see that these classifications have come up. You can insert some keywords. So I might insert anxiety, randomised control trial, and some kind of covering letter. Which also, obviously, you could paste out of some kind of other document, and then you just simply choose the file. So here it's a Word file that we're uploading, and we submit the article. you get a little dialog box up here just asking you to check that your information is correct and that your file size isn't too big, otherwise our servers explode. And then you'll get a lovely message telling you that it's been submitted. And what should happen shortly after that is you get a nice email. Okay, so let's assume that you've submitted some articles and at some point in the future you wish to check on their status. Now you will have had an email something like this that tells you what your article number is, title of your article, who the editor was, and what decision you've had. So for example, on this manuscript we have a revise and resubmit. Now to make that revision, all we need to do is go back to the portal and use this information to log in. So our username becomes our manuscript number and the password from the email will sign us in. Now once we're signed in as that manuscript, the big shiny red button becomes a Manage Submission button. And once you've clicked on that, you'll see the information about that manuscript. So if we click on this, you'll find a summary of the manuscript title, manuscript number, its title, status, so on and so forth. The most important thing is there's a link down the bottom here which allows us to attach a revision or to update the details. So we get the same dialog box that we got when we submitted the article in the first place. It tells you it basically propagates those boxes with all the information that you had before, so you don't really need to change any of that. But you do need to select your new file. So we'll add the revised file and we'll expect a new cover letter to the editor, which again you'll probably just paste in from a Word file or something. And once we've done that, we can submit the article. Again, there's just a checkbox to make sure that you've done everything that you ought to do. And then, lo and behold, it is submitted. So now, in the portal, you can see down the bottom, there's a list of the documents that you've used, or that you've uploaded, so the original one and the revised one. And also, this was here before, there's a tab for tools and materials, which is for you to upload any materials associated with the manuscript that you wish to be published online. So these could be things like photographs of stimuli, data files, videos even. So if you want to do that, you can click on the Tools and Materials tab. You can add a file, it'll ask you for a description. So you might say, well, a data file is not a very useful description, but hopefully you'd come up with something a bit more interesting than that. And then I click on Add File, pick our data file that we wish to upload, then click on Upload, and there you go.